What, mortal? What is it now?
Wait till you see me in action.
I must hunt soon. Agreed. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. What, mortal? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? What is it now? Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Greetings. What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? What? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Greetings. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Die. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? What, mortal? Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Die. Agreed. I hunger. Die. You thought of that? Agreed. Death rages. That was my plan. Your soul is mine. Die. You thought of that? Agreed. I hunger. Death rages. What? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages. Very well. That was my plan. Yes, my lord? I must hunt soon. What? I hunger. You thought of that? What is it now? Your soul is mine. Very well. Agreed. Death rages. That was my plan. Die. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger.
First blood.
I must hunger soon. Death rages. That was my plan.
Double kill.
I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Die. You thought of that? Greetings. I hunger. You thought of that? What is it now? Death rages. You thought of that? Greetings. Agreed. That was my
Our
plan.
allies' town needs help.
Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Die. Agreed. Very well. I hunger. You thought of that?
Our allies' town needs help.
That was my plan. What is it now? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Death rages. What is your That was my plan. I hunger. What is it now? Agreed. Double kill. That was my plan. That was my plan. Death rages. Death rages. What is it now? You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Death rages. Greetings. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. What, mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Greetings. Agreed. What, mortal? Greetings. That was my plan. I hunger. You thought of that? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? Death rages. Die. You thought of that? Very well. I hunger. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? What, mortal? Death rages. Die. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? What is it now?
Our allies' town needs help.
Greetings. That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt.
Hello.
What, mortal? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed. Your soul is mine. Very well. You thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Very well. I hunger. Your soul is mine. You thought of that? Agreed. Your soul is mine. That was my plan.
Double kill.
Very well. That was my plan. Very well. What is it now? Die. That was my plan.
Is someone...
What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? You thought of that? What, mortal? What is it now? Very well.
Killing spree.
Plan. You thought of that. Death rages. That was my plan. I hunger. You thought of that. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages. That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. You thought of that. That was my plan. Die. Agreed. Agreed. I hunger. Death rages. Agreed. Thought of that. Greetings. What? You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. Greetings. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Your soul is mine. I hunger. What is it now? That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? I must hunt soon.
Dominating.
That was my plan.
Wait till you see me in action.
What, mortal? Greetings. What is it now? Death rages. You thought of that? Very well. Die. Greetings. You thought of that? What is it now? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? What? I must hunt soon. Greetings. Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? What is it now? I hunger. That was my plan.
Mega kill.
That was my plan. Fresh soul is mine.
Dominating. Night beckons. What is it? Thought of that? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. Die. What? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Greetings. That was my plan. Agreed. I must hunt soon. What is it now? You thought of that? You thought of that? That was my plan. What? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Greetings. Agreed. I hunger. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. Fresh meat. Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. Your soul is mine. What is it now? You thought of
Our
that.
warriors have engaged
Agreed.
the enemy.
That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. I must hunt soon. What order? Death rages. That was my plan. You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that. Greetings. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that. That was my plan. What order? Very well. That was my plan. What is it now? I hunger. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. You thought of that. I must hunt soon. Very well. What? Death rages. That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. I hunger. Death rages. You thought of that? Very well. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that?
Our allies' town needs help.
I must hunt soon. Greetings. That was my plan. What is it? I must hunt soon. Death rages.
Our allies' town needs help.
That was my plan. That was my plan. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. That was my plan. What order? Die. Death rages. Greetings. I hunger. Thought of that. Very well. What is it now? That was my plan. Death rages. Agreed. Very well. What? Agreed. Very well. I must have fresh meat. What? Killing spree. That was my plan. Very well. What order? Die. Thought of that. Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages. Thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed. Greetings. What is it now? That was my plan. What order? Greetings. What is it now? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Greetings. What is it now? Die. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? What, mortal? Very well. Your soul is mine. You thought of that? Greetings. Agreed. Very well. What is it now? Agreed. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. What is it now? What, mortal? Greetings. Death rages. Very well. Agreed. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? You thought of that? Agreed. What is it now? You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Greetings. Die. Very well. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. I hunger. That was my plan. What is it now? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. I must hunt soon. What is it now? Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Death rages. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? What? You thought of that? You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well. What is it now? That was my plan. Dominating. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Mega
I
kill.
hunger. You thought of that? Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. That was my plan. Die. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Death rages. Die. Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. Very well. That was my plan. I hunger. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Your soul is mine. Agreed.
Mega kill.
You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Greetings. What is it now? I hunger. Greetings. Very well. What, mortal? That was my plan. Greetings.
Fresh
Must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well. What, mortal? That was my plan. Die. I hunger. Agreed. Must hunt soon. I must hunt soon. Got it! I must hunt soon. Greetings. That was my plan. Death rages. Very well. Death rages. I hunger.
I bow to you.
Unstoppable!
That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan.
The game has just been hosted. The game has just been hosted. The game is starting.
Game started.
Help me, help you.
Wait till you see me in action.
Insist. Kick down, Sparky.
Give me something to do.
Will it be hotshot if you insist? It's about time. What a good idea. Help me, help you. Do you require aid, human? Help me, help you, if you insist. It's about time. If you insist. Kick down, Sparky. Will it be hotshot? Do you require aid, human? Kick down, Sparky. Do you require aid, human? Kick down, Sparky. It's about time. This better be good. What a good idea. Help me, help you. It's about time. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. This better be good. Once again, it's up to the elves.
First blood.
If you insist. It's about time. What a good idea. If you insist. Help me, help you. Once again, it's up to the elves. It's about time. If you insist. What a good idea. Do you require aid, human? About time. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What a good idea. About time. Help me, help you. What a good idea. About time. If you insist. What a big hot. About time. If you insist.
Without delay.
What a good idea.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Now victory is ours. Do you require aid, human? It's about time. Once again, it's up to the elves. About time.
Without delay.
Your wish is made. Once again, it's up to the elves. Now if you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. Will it be Hachi?
Without delay.
Help me, help you. Now victory shall be ours. Once again, it's up to the elves. Kick down, Sparky. What a good idea. About time. What a good idea. What a be Hachi. Once again, it's up to the elves.
Without delay.
Your wish is mine. If you insist. What a good idea. Do you require aid? If you insist. About time. Help me. If you insist. What a good idea. Do you require aid? If you insist. About time. What a good idea. Help me. Help you. If you insist. About time.
For the Alliance.
Once again, it's up to the elves. Will it be Hachi? About time. Help me, help you. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. About time. What a good idea. Now victory shall be ours. Once again, it's up to the elves. Your wish is mine. About time.
Without delay.
Now victory shall be ours.
Without delay.
What a good idea. Help me, help you. The flows of magic are beauty. What will be? If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Help me, help you.
For the Alliance.
Will it be Hachi? Help me, help you. Kick down Sparky. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Help me, help you. It's about time. If you insist. It's about time. Once again, it's up to the elves. Do you require aid? If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Will it be Hachi? Do you require aid? What a good idea. Help me, help you. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What a good idea. If you insist. This better be good. Kick down, Sparky. What a good idea. About time. Will it be Hachi? This better be good. Once again, it's up to the elves. Your wish is mine. If you insist. What a good idea. About time. If you insist. Will it be Hachi?
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Help me, help you. What a good idea. It's about time.
Our allies' town needs
What a
help.
good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. Will it be Hachi? Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea.
Our
This
allies' town needs help.
Kick down, Sparky. Help me, help you. If you insist. What a good idea. If you insist. What a good idea. If you insist.
Our allies' town needs
About
help.
time. What a good idea. Your wish. Now, will it be hotshot? If you insist. About time.
Without delay.
Help me, help you. Once again, the elves.
Killing spree.
Our allies' town needs help.
Big dance. Once again,
Without delay.
what a good idea. It's about time. Your wish is once again, it's up to the elves. It's about
Our
time.
allies' town needs help.
Help me. What will be? Big dance. If you insist. It's about time. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What will be? It's about time. If you insist. Help me. Help you.
Our allies' town
Once
needs
again,
help.
it's up to the elves. If you insist.
Without delay.
What a good idea. It's about time. Will it be?
Our
Wait till you
allies'
see me
town
in
needs
action.
Our warriors have engaged.
If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea.
Dominating.
It's about time. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. It's about time. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. If you insist.
Without delay.
Help me, help you. My victory shall be ours.
Our allies'
Keep
town
going.
needs help.
Once again, it's up to you. Your wish is what a good idea. Will it be hotshot? It's about time. Kick down, Sparky. What a good idea. Will it be hotshot? Once again, it's up to the elves. Do you require aid? If you insist. My victory shall be ours. It's about time. If you insist. What a good idea. Will it be hotshot? Help me, help you. It's about time. Pick down, Sparky. Your wish is not wrong. Help me, help you. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves.
Our allies' town needs help.
Kick down, Sparky. What a good idea.
Without delay.
About time. Will it be hotshot?
Our allies' town needs help.
Double kill.
What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. Will it be hotshot? If you insist.
Our allies' town needs
Once
help.
again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. It's about time. Once again, it's up to the elves. This better be dead. If you insist. Help me, help you. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. Kick down, Sparky. Help me, help you. What a good idea. Do you require aid, human? It's about time. If you insist. Will it be hotshot? Once again, it's up to the elves. This better be good. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves.
Without delay.
Will it be hotshot? What a good idea. This better be good. Will it be hotshot? If you insist. This better be good. Help me, help you. For the Alliance. It's about time. If you insist.
Our warriors have engaged.
What a
the
good
enemy.
idea. It's about time. Now victory shall be ours. If you insist. Will it be hotshot?
Our
Do you
allies'
require
town needs
aid?
help.
About time. If you insist.
Without delay.
Your wish is my command.
Without delay.
Help me, help you.
Dominate.
If you insist. About time. What a good idea. Now victory shall be ours. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Do you require aid, human? What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves.
Is my
This
aid
better be
required?
good. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist.
Hello.
Help me. What a good idea. This better be good. Once again, if you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Your wish is my command. Kick down, Sparky. This better be good.
Without delay.
Help me. What a good idea. If you insist. Do you require aid, human? It's about time.
Fresh meat.
Now, your wish is mine. What a good idea. Help me, help you.
Killing spree.
Once again, it's up to the elves. The flows of magic are exploding. What a good idea.
Our allies' town
Will it
needs
be
help.
hotshot? If you insist. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. Kick down, Sparky. If you insist. About time. What a good idea. This better be good. Now, once again, it's up to the elves. Your wish is my command. About time.
Without delay.
What a good idea. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Your wish is if you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. Do you require aid? Your wish is about time. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. It's about time. This better be good. If you insist. It's about time. Do you require aid? Will it be hotshot?
Dominating.
Help you. Will it be hotshot? Do you require aid? If you insist. Will it be? Now, once again, it's up to the elves. Do you require aid? What a good idea. This way. Once again, it's up to the elves. It's about time. What'll it be? Do you require aid, human? This better be good. Once again, it's up to the elves. What'll it be, hotshot? What a good idea. About time. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What a good idea. Kick down, Sparky. Once again, it's up to the elves. It's about time. This better be good. What a good idea. It's about time. Without delay. Kick down, Sparky. Do you require aid? What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. Help me. What a good idea. For the Alliance.
Double kill.
This better be good. Once again, it's up to the elves. Do you require about time? If you insist. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. About time. Once again, it's up to the elves. About time. What a good idea. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the
Our allies' town needs
Kick
help.
down, Sparky. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves.
Unstoppable.
What a good idea. About time. About time. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What'll it be, hotshot? What a good idea. It's about time. Without delay. If you insist. What a good idea. If you insist. What a good idea. It's about time. If you insist. Your wish.
Killing spree. Fresh meat.
This better be good. For the Alliance. Flows of magic once again. Once again, it's a help me, help you. If you insist.
Unstoppable.
About time. Do you require aid? If you insist. Help me, help you. Once again, it's a if you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Do you require aid? If you insist. What a good idea. It's about time. Help me.
Wicked sick.
Once again, it's up to the elves. About time. If you insist. It's about time. What a good idea.
Our allies'
Our
town
warriors
needs
have
help. Engage the enemy.
Wicked sick.
If you insist. Help me, help you. Your wish is my command. What a good idea. If you
Our
insist.
allies' town needs help.
Monster kill.
help.
Killing spree. Monster kill!
Greetings, my lord. Our allies' town needs help. The flows of magic are reaching. This better be good. Do you require aid, human? This better be good.
What a good idea.
Our allies' town
Once
needs
again,
help.
it's up to the elves. What'll it be, Hotshot? What a good idea. It's about time. Kick down, Sparky. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What a good idea. Elves. This better be good. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. This better be good. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. Do you require aid, human? If you insist. It's about time. If you insist.
Our allies' town needs help.
If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. About time. What a good idea.
Dominating.
What'll it be, Hotshot? If you insist. What a good idea. About time. Do you require aid? If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. Kick down, Sparky. Do you require aid, human? What a good idea. If you insist. Kick down, Sparky.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
About time.
Without delay.
What a good idea. This better be good. If you insist. What'll it be, Hotshot? Once again, it's up to the elves. Kick down, Sparky. What a good idea. Holy shit. Help me.
Our allies' town needs help.
Your wishes. Once again, it's up to the elves. This better be good. About time. What a good idea. About time.
Our warriors have engaged help.
Once again, it's about time. If you insist. Kick down, Sparky. What a good idea. This better be. If you insist.
Our
Once
allies'
again,
town
it's
needs
up to
help.
the elves. Kick down, Sparky. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the elves. If you insist. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. What a good idea. If you insist. It's about time. Once again, it's up to the elves. About time. Once again, it's up to the elves.
Without delay, our allies' town needs help.
If you insist.
mother!
Help me, help you.
Our allies' town needs help.
Will it be hotshot? What a good idea. If you insist. It's about time. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the others.
Allies' town needs help.
If you insist. Once again, it's up to the others. What a good idea.
Our allies' town needs help.
What a good idea.
Our warriors have engaged.
Once again, it's up to the others. What a good
Our
idea.
allies' town needs help.
Again, it's up to the others. Get down to it. Will it be hotshot?
Without delay.
Kick down, Sparky. If you
Our
insist.
allies' town needs help.
Will it be hotshot? Once again, it's up to the others.
Without delay.
If you insist.
Our allies' town needs
What a
help.
good idea. Once again, it's up to the others. If you insist.
Our warriors
Once
have
again,
engaged the enemy. Do you require
What a good idea. About time.
our
Once
allies'
again,
town
it's up
needs
to the
help?
elves. What a good idea. Once again, it's up to the elves. Help me, help you. What a good idea. If you insist.
The game has just been hosted. The game has just been hosted. The game has just been hosted.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Welcome.
The game has just been hosted. The game has just been hosted. The game has just been hosted.